Hello guys, this is the Perpetuating Party of Patriots, and this video is kind of like a continuation video of the one of my previous videos. It was like a top 10 list, I guess. You guys may have seen my video, my top 6 favorite shows or cartoons or whatever you want to call it. And yeah, as you guys noticed, it was not a top 10 list, it was actually a top 6, and the reason why it was a top 6 was I didn't know what my other four were like to make it a top 10. But now this video, basically the summary of it is I finally got the other four pinned down. So yeah, now granted the order of the shows in the top 10 has changed a little bit, like very slightly, but for this one, for this I guess you'd say second part of the list, I will be counting down or counting up from my number 10 spot to the number 7 spot, just for conveniences, because I will probably combine the two parts into one. So, yeah, anyways, here is what the number 10 entry of this list is. And coming in at the number 10 spot, we have the show The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. Basically, the summary of this show is there are these two kids named Billy and Mandy, and basically they're fucking around and shit. And the Grim Reaper ends up stumbling across their place, and basically they have it. Well, I think it started over. I think Billy's pet hamster or something is on its deathbed, and the Grim needs to take it. And let's just say they're not having it, so they basically challenge the Grim Reaper to a game of limbo. And, yeah, let's just say, Grim fucking loses. Yeah, Billy and Mandy end up winning. And I think the bet was whoever wins the game basically gets to have the Grim as their best friend forever. And they'll lose. Well, it doesn't really matter about the losing, what the lose part of the bet was, but yeah, basically the show just revolves around Billy and Mandy and Grim and the adventures they have. The way I kind of describe this show is it's basically if Invader Zim was a Cartoon Network show, I guess you'd say, or it's basically like Cartoon Network's version of Invader Zim. And while I don't like it nearly as much, I think Grim Adventures is pretty funny, and I really liked the characters in this one, and yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say regarding the show, overall show itself. But when it comes to the seasons, I think they're mostly pretty solid. I do think it did take a slight decline towards the later half of the show, but it's still mostly pretty funny and pretty enjoyable. So, yeah, not much to say here, but yeah, Grim Adventures is my number 10 spot. And coming in at the number 9 spot, we have Danny Phantom. The basic summary of this show is, well, it could pretty much be summarized in the theme song, but a more summarized version of that is, there's a kid named Danny Phantom, and his parents are ghost hunters, and they ended up making a ghost portal, and let's just say when they tried to work it, it ended up malfunctioning, I guess you'd say, or it just pooped out. And then Danny was being all curious and decided to try and open it himself. And what that ended up happening was he ended up getting infused with ghost DNA, and now he's half human, half ghost. And basically, he just has to fend off all the ghosts from taking over the real human world, I guess you'd say. And, yeah, that pretty much summarizes the show. And the thing that I really like about Danny Phantom is, well, apparently I've heard it's kind of like a parody of, apparently, of the 2000s kids action shows, I guess you'd say, but I mainly just like it because I really liked the characters. They're very entertaining. The humor is pretty funny, and the action scenes are very entertaining to watch, in my opinion. Unfortunately, like another Nickelodeon show, Jimmy Neutron, it got canceled. Even worse, it got canceled halfway through the third season, which is very bad because I would have liked to see at least maybe it would have been cool to see a season 4, but given how Nickelodeon was during like the early 2010s period, it may have actually been a good thing that the show got canceled before it could become crap, but yeah, I really like Danny Phantom. But anyways, now on to the next entry. And coming in at the number 8 spot, we have, I guess you'd say, not really a tie, but more so multiple shows in one entry. We have the Ben 10 franchise. Now, I did make a video actually explaining why I love Ben 10 a lot, but yeah, I'll basically just summarize what this show is about, or the franchise more so. Basically, Ben is on summer vacation, and he's on, I guess you'd say, a road trip pretty much around the world with his cousin Gwen and his grandpa Matt, and they're camping out one day, and then all of a sudden, a kind of meteorite or some type of alien rocker, I don't know what the fuck it is, but yeah, basically Ben is very interested and wants to know what it is. So he runs over to where it crashes down, and there is a weird alien looking watch that he finds, and Ben reaches out to find out what it is, and the watch ends up getting stuck on his wrist, and he cannot get it off. And basically, what this watch does is he is able to transform into 10 different aliens, and yeah, he does actually end up becoming a hero later in the show, or he does pretty much have to protect the world from evil, I guess you'd say, in more simpler terms. But yeah, it does get more, I guess you'd say, in depth as the series goes on and the franchise as well. But yeah, what I like about Ben 10 is it's just a fun show to watch, in my opinion. And while it's not the most unique action show in the world, I think the stories are usually pretty entertaining and pretty well put together. I liked the characters, and yeah, again, it's just a really fun show to watch. Now, the reason why it's not just the original Ben 10 series that gets this placement is I think it has pretty solid shows throughout the whole franchise. Alien Force is even better than the original, in my opinion. Ben becomes a more developed and mature character, same with the other ones. Even though it does have, season 3 is a bit worse than 1 and 2, but then there's Ultimate Alien, which is, it's kind of like an expansion upon Alien Force, but doesn't have that season drop off. Although I'm not including Omniverse necessarily in here, because I do like Omniverse, but it's not really one of my favorites. But I love the first 3 shows in the franchise, though. Anyways, now on to the last entry in this video. And coming in at the number 7 spot, and the last entry in this video, is the original Teen Titans. Well, my opinion on this show has definitely drastically changed since the video that I made in 2020, where I talked about this show being one that others like that I don't. And now it's in my top 10 favorite shows of all time. Yeah, I really love Teen Titans now. Now, to basically summarize the show, while the first episode doesn't really have an in-depth, I guess you'd say, explanation of the characters and their personalities, basically what the show revolves around there are these 5 teenagers by the names of, well, this is their superhero names at least, Robin, Starfire, Beast Boy, Cyborg, and Raven, and basically they're a superhero team, and they pretty much just gotta stop the world from evil whenever it strikes. But yeah, this show does have a very basically cult-like fan base, and while I think the fan base does suck it off a bit too much, I'm not gonna lie, I think it's a great show overall. All 5 of the characters are very entertaining and definitely have a lot of character development and depth to them later in the show. The episodes are very fun to watch. It actually gets better as it goes on. And yeah, and the action scenes are very entertaining in this one. I really love the fight scenes in this show. Now, yeah, I don't really have much else to say about Teen Titans. It's just, I really like watching this show now. Now, okay, I don't want to talk about the spinoff because I know I'll just go on a long-ass tangent about it, but yeah, now to explain what I was saying earlier about the spots being more rearranged in this one now. The overall top 10 list with this one and the original 6, it hasn't really changed that much, but I actually moved Jimmy Neutron back about 2 spots, so that one is now at number 8, and Ben 10 is at number 7, and Teen Titans is at number 6. If you're asking why, I still really like Jimmy Neutron, but I'm starting to like Ben 10 and Teen Titans even more than I used to now, so yeah, that explains the Jimmy Neutron drop. But anyways, I'm the Perpetuating Party of Patriots, and see you guys in the next video.